Okay team, so we've got Bethesda and we've got Arkane Studios. Are these guys revolutionary artists, or are they just those game developers that seem to be coasting by on successful games gone by, the likes of Fallout and Dishonored? Welcome to my review of Prey. Now, this game is both a potential love letter to sci-fi nerds like me, and I am one, there's no denying it, and a slap in both sets of cheeks for those that like polished games with in-depth stories. Stories with fulfilling conclusions that don't leave you feeling like the boy who visits prom and leaves with a bag of Doritos and a memory bank full of broken adolescent dreams. This game is truly a mixed bag of tomfoolery. Many are already heralding it as Game of the Year. Because? Well, first off, gamers be crazy, but second, I think the kind of Bioshock undertones with the kind of Art Deco styling that we see, and the baseline atmosphere is kind of making people look at this with nostalgic rose-tinted glasses before it's even earned its right. But anyway, you are Morgan Yu, a scientist who apparently has next to no skills in wielding a wrench against small blob-like spider space ephemera. The story begins with such great promise, foreshadowing of intrigue, family deceit, and even Illuminati-level conspiracy. However, soon that story falls flat, man, only given the breath of life in the final moments of the game. Moments that lack the variety of an average ice cream van. What this game does well is it deceives. We are constantly made to feel that we could be powerful, that we could choose our own way to play, and that our choices have meaningful results. However, Bethesda and Arkane seem to have taken a page out of the BioWare Mass Effect 3's Shepard's buggered and there's not much you can do about it model. Gunplay is equally lackluster. I normally enjoy a developer's decision as well to withhold ammo and medkits from us. It's a cool mechanic, one that Dead Space did so well. It's kind of a masochistic ballet of near-death experiences, but in this case, the dead space between what we need and what we are allowed to have without glitching the material recycling mechanic, and you know people have done it, is like a Fallout vendor asking themselves, where are my caps and stim packs? Did you just do that thing where you trade between windows to screw both me and the game you paid and bled for? But what's the crux of the problem here? Because that sounds like I'm just smashing on it, and it's not all bad, but the crux of the problem is, I don't have a glue gun at home. I don't have a gold-plated shotgun. So why does Arkane take such pleasure in denying me those pleasures now? I found myself charging through harder difficulties whilst yelling, "For Azeroth!" dodging fools that dared to stand in my way. But hey, you can always venture from the hidden path, from the beaten path, by using those cool Typhon powers to turn into a cup, or a toilet tissue to hop through small holes. That's what she said. But what lies on the other end of these experiences? Sometimes something quite cool, actually. The opportunity to save a colleague who is a connection to you in often interesting ways, offering a nice glimpse into the backstory of Telos 1, which I actually really enjoyed. Ways that manifest themselves, to be honest though, in the most trivial of ways in the final moments. Now, here's my first spoiler alert, guys, so pause here if you need to. I saved pretty much every mother trucker on that damn space station, but I screwed up one encounter to be treated like a pariah in the final scenes of Prey. The consequences of actions feel like the choice between bran flakes and Frosties in the morning, with about the same differential in the results. Inventory will remind you as much of Dead Space as the shooting mechanics will remind you of 1999, to be fair. People are calling this Game of the Year. People are comparing it to Bioshock, for God's sake. People make me roll my eyes and cry myself to sleep. Bioshock is a time-honored example of games as art. Prey, for me, and I'm saying for me here, guys, was a slog. A slog that makes me want to rewind and quite honestly take it back, because all that effort led to nothing. Remember, these are my opinions, guys, just with any review. I won't tell you what I think you want to hear, or what I think will get views or likes. YouTube, quite frankly, is my opportunity to vet, and it's cheaper than getting a psychiatrist. By the way, they make you crawl through a lot of vents. Enjoy that, because it's great fun. Choose your way to play, or not. This game also commits, guys, and this is where it all comes down to, because I don't actually think it was a terrible game. Some of the mechanics, some of the Typhon powers, mimicking yourself was absolutely superb. I love that. But unfortunately, you can hang all the great mechanics in the world onto a poor story with a poor conclusion. Mass Effect 3 being a prime example of that. and you can't walk away with a trophy for Game of the Year. And this game commits one of the greatest sins in storytelling, a sin that forced me to roll my eyes and consider the merits of 50 Shades of Grey in the annals of all-time storytelling. You fight for those you care for, guys. You fight for those you love, and against the ghost of a memory you long to recover. You fight against yourself, your own human urges, and the urge to make the right decision, or blast people into a little could-fit-in-a-doggy-poo bag portions. But for what? I urge everyone who is aboard the Bethesda banter bus to ask yourself this question. What impact did any of your decisions make when it came to Endgame? Mass Effect 3, the final to one of my favourite game series of all time, ended with the community tearing it to shreds for menial results for monumental choices. How is this any different? Finally, I played this on Xbox One, guys, and I might have just had a bad copy or something, I don't know. But I encountered some game-breaking bugs, hard resets, a couple of saves that were a little bit ippy-dippy, and a vast differential in the graphical fidelity. From one moment to the next, you could experience some real lackluster polish on some of the textures. Not to mention, guys, and this is a real, it really aggravates me, I have to say, they've incorporated these double loading screens. It kind of starts off with one design of loading screen, then pings off to another, which is, I think designed to hide the fact that these loading screens are like 40 seconds long on the Xbox, which is surprising considering the middle of the road graphics and how many load screen walls there are actually in the game. I would also like to mention right now, okay, that the audio design, whilst often good, is a little bit janky. Sometimes the enemy attacking sound will start and there is no one. Also, there are times that I've encountered where NPCs would talk to me while I'm having a key conversation along the story arc with, say, January, just to discover that I miss out entirely what's going on. It's a little bit, a little bit rough in that area. Now, this game does have a great art style, so I'm not going to say it doesn't, but the tedious performance lets it down. My recommendation, of course, and I went against this myself, is to play this on PC. Get an SSD, play on the supposed master race of gaming, and it might assist you in making this feel more preyful and less preyed upon. Remember, I am not trying to offend, guys, or ruin the experience of all of you. Many of you will be thinking, what kind of gamer is this dude? Why doesn't he like this? The truth is that I'm a story gamer who enjoys lovely loot and the opportunity to make meaningful choices. Now here comes the final spoiler alert, guys. I may have been singing a different tune if this game hadn't used its final moments to use 5 of the main characters to tell me why everything that I had done, everything I had died for, was meaningless and simply an example of reverse dramatic irony to facilitate the "it was all a dream" facade. For those that loved it, please tell me why. I am happy to be proven wrong by a community that I wholeheartedly respect. So this is Gashido wishing you lots of lovely loot and fully filled clips. Game on, guys, because I'm out.